Welcome everyone to episode 17. Am I right on that one?
I honestly don't know.
Shit.
Yeah, because
We're at the jailbait episode again.
Oh God.
Yeah, because 16 was our recap of the Sony conference.
Yeah. Good times.
Episode 17. Before anybody asks, this will be Last of Us 2 dominated.
No spoilers.
And we know you guys are probably all tired and tuckered out. But hey, we have the most important opinion on the interweb. And that's why you come here to hear us out.
That was so formal. I love it.
Of course.
So who are we?
We're some people.
You are we.
This is the Never Ready
I
podcast.
mean, that's the logo that's above our heads and whatnot. They happen to be the people that are paying us, I think.
I ain't received a paycheck since fucking 3 years.
I'm sorry.
We're Square Enix, like that paycheck that.
Yeah, he's like, you haven't. Yeah, he hasn't seen it from Never Ready, but he's definitely seen it from Activision.
Right?
Jesus Christ. Who else?
Nintendo, sometimes EA.
Nintendo he does for free.
But I'm pretty sure EA pays Al here in loot boxes.
So yeah, I am Jose aka Al. We got Jose aka Lee. We got obviously George. We got Pedro in his house.
Yo,
and we got Gabe.
Hey.
So let's cut the bullshit. Actually, this game. So we're gonna talk Last of Us Part 2, obviously. Only Gabe has beaten it out of all of us. So I think I'm halfway. I think George might be like the halfway point.
Past halfway, I know I am.
Oh, then George.
I checked where I was. I'm way past halfway.
Okay, so George might be almost beating it. So no spoilers, no specifics. But yeah, we're gonna discuss the game and give our overall thoughts. Let's try to be respectful towards each other. Just all opinions. I know Lee wants to think that his opinion is the word of God, but
do you not see the burning bush at all? I do.
No,
your bush is on fire. You should throw some water on your crotch.
I've tried.
Still on fire. All right, so let's do one by one then, like initial thoughts, and be honest, just whatever you guys think. So
let me go first.
All right, Pedro, go first.
Because I feel like I'm not gonna talk for a while.
I think I should go last.
Okay. So my impression of The Last of Us 2 is great game. That's it.
It's a great game?
It's a great game. Great game. Everybody around me is talking about it. The buzz around the game is it has to be good. This many people.
I don't think people are talking just because they're
Yeah.
All right, so George, you want to go next?
No, I don't want to go next. Why don't you go next?
No. Okay.
All right, so I'll go next. Man, this game is really, I don't know about you guys, but it's difficult to talk about because a lot of the main things you want to talk about is the story, right? So let's start with some positives. I think this is, as far as like the world they've built is the most detailed world they've built. And
let me say something about that though, real quick. Not necessarily the world building, but just that there is good things in this fucking game. Like for some reason, there's like this weird stigma that you either completely hate it or you completely love it. For some reason, there's this weird crowd. Yeah, there's like no middle ground, or the crowd that wants to be in the middle just isn't talking or isn't saying anything as if it doesn't exist. It's like, yo, this is still a freaking good game. Like it's still fun to play. It's still awesome seeing someone's jaw go flying off their face when you blast them with the little Colt. You see, or you
I
you see what I'm saying?
Fly off. I see somebody's hand
I've seen bits and pieces go flying. Like this game is cool. Like there's a seriousness to it. There's this like
I'll say something.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll add something onto that if I may.
Mm-hmm, go ahead.
So I mean, granted, I beat since I beat the game. Part of me wanting to beat it was to see why everyone is so conflicted and why there's so many mixed views on this game. I'll say a little bit more about it afterwards when I'm giving my impression on it, but the biggest thing that people got to remember about this is the game was intended to make you feel what you're feeling.
Yeah, nothing was an accident. Yeah, they want you to feel conflicted. They didn't want you to feel good or or bad or whatever. It was all intended. Yeah.
See, I hope so. Getting to the end, because it was almost like they horseshoed fucking Abby into the story. For like and they
God
did
damn it, no spoilers.
What the that's not
I guess the beginning is what we could talk about that.
And it's a name.
It's a name.
It's not like I'm freaking. It's not like I'm saying anything big, but I'm just saying if once you get to her, once you find out who Abby is, I feel like they horseshoed her in. They did, and then like they did what they had to do. If you get what I'm saying in that beginning point, even though, come on now, I mean, we're like day 7, day 8 in Last of Us lifetime right now. If you haven't beaten the game and if you haven't watched someone beat it yet, you are a weirdo, and I am a weirdo because I have to beat it because I am doing something very. Yeah, we all know you, Pedro, but you have a helmet.
You guys have to hear what this dude is doing. You guys have to hear what this. Don't say it yet. What this dude is doing, like legit, like almost made me. Oh God! All right, so
okay, so I mean, come on now. Anything I do, come on now, it's gonna make people's head turn. I literally turn people into the Exorcist and then bring them back to life like Jesus. Anywho, so. Oh, where was that? I think that was almost like plot convenient. They just needed to do it quick. They wanted to bring her in, and they just had to do what they did quick, real fast. Mm-hmm. So, but again, I haven't beaten the game. I haven't gotten that far. So
yeah,
I'm gonna keep a lot of the opinions to myself.
Yeah. So what I'll say is, based on what I'm at right now, I do feel like. Everybody does say, like, you need to complete the game to get the whole thing. Because for a long time, playing the game, even though everything I was seeing was really good, even not, like, after the middle point, I got way more, like, invested in everything. After, things do what they do. Because even though everything was great, it was like a lot of build up towards something, right? And like the first half of the game was all this build up, and even though the writing was really well done, all this stuff was like the interaction between the characters as well. I was just kind of like, okay, so what's the point of this? Like, what is this game trying to say? Like, what is this? I don't know, because of the length of the game that it takes a while for you to get there. And I'm hoping everything I've experienced so far is building to towards the end, and then everything as a whole will come together. Whether you like it or not, remains to be seen if I like it or not. But again, one of the pros of this game is like the world building, and I don't know if you guys have like go out of your way to go to the side stuff and try to like explore every nook and cranny and try to do everything. But dude, I experienced like some of the side stories, some of the stuff that you could miss in this game is awesome. Like some really good stuff. The guitar thing, you guys know what I'm talking about in the music store, that was fucking amazing. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Spoilers, Jose.
I'm not saying what it is, but it's something cool. There's something, I don't know if you guys experienced it with the deserters in this building that fucking almost, I shit myself almost. When the game with its mechanics makes you feel really comfortable and it plays to that and then it throws that out the window, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Like this thing that you're supposed to feel safe doing, the game is like, nope. Gabe, you know what I'm talking about?
I think I already know what you're talking about.
It's that it comes like it's, but it's tied to like I'll say it's like something to do with some deserters. You know what I'm talking about now?
I don't.
I know.
Oh man, I hope you guys didn't miss it because that was fucking.
No, I know.
I know what you're talking about.
Yo, George,
Shut up, Pedro.
George, I almost shit myself.
I didn't want to feel. I didn't want you to feel left out. Okay.
What was that?
I'm being supportive to my friends. Okay.
Yes, I thought you would. After I played it, I was like, if Jose does this, he's jumpy, so he's gonna.
Oh, you have no, because you know why that's.
Oh, if you haven't done a certain part yet, there's another part that you're gonna get really jumpy.
I like that too, because it takes away like there's things that games do. Like gaming things, it plays with the idea of the game. There are things that games do. They're like, all right, technically the rule is because I'm playing this game, then this part, nothing should happen. And then like
exactly, I was that. You're kind of now you're feeding to people, so they kind of know it too. Because I knew exactly what you were saying as you were pretty much explaining it. Because that happened to me in Resident Evil 2 when Mr. X breaks through the fucking wall, and literally like that point in the game, I felt that was the second time I literally felt scared in that game. Like I always felt like tense because of just the game, the atmosphere did very great at doing that. But then when Mr. X changed the way you play the game by breaking a hole through the wall and making more lanes, I didn't know what to expect anymore. I was almost expecting him to show up through other walls as well and saying, hello, motherfucker. Here's your fucking order.
You see, that's a perfect example because I think I felt the same way after that. I'm like, okay, anything's possible now. Anything goes. They're either they're fucking with me, they're trying to make it. I think that was on purpose. Honestly, I think they're trying to make you feel tense from now on after that part. You're like, oh. But I don't know because it was a side thing. It wasn't like on the main. I could have skipped that completely. But the way they built the story,
I'm really trying to figure out what it is you're talking about exactly. Does it happen early on?
It must be. It must be at least 3 hours in, 3.5 hours in.
Oh no! I would say 10, like 11.
Really? You've clocked that many hours,
dude? I'm at 15 or 16, and I'm still halfway through the game.
Hey, yo, bro.
25.
Nigga, let me know when you're on my level and you're at like fucking 22.
No, you guys are gonna get mad to hear what the dude was doing. But all right, so that's a positive. Like graphically, one thing I think the combat and like the stealth is way better. I feel like you have way more options. Like the combat's so kinetic and like there's so much. You have so many options to like get away or sneak around or like. Especially like one of the factions of the group, the Scars, man. The first time you meet those guys, man, it's fucking terrifying because they start whistling and stuff. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? And especially like if you sneak up on them, you hear them talking normal. You hear them like because they don't know you're there. The second they're like, all right, time to start scouting, they start whistling, and you don't know what the hell they're saying. You're like, okay, so are they looking for me? Did they find something?
I'm hoping to hear like at least 2. Like Easter eggs with the whistles, at least either the Halloween theme or the Kill Bill. I don't
know. There might be.
They do the same whistle over and over.
Yeah, it would be talk. It's communication rather than singing.
I know, but I'm hoping to find an Easter egg on the whistle. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe because there's some area you could completely skip. You can go around like encounters. If you're good enough, if you know an area, figure out like a way, you could legit skip encounters. So I do enjoy all the combat options. It reminds me a lot of MGS5. All the options you have, you can kind of think of something and kind of work your way around it. Yeah. I don't know if it happened with you guys, but at first, I try to play like the first game, as in like more like stationary, like cover shooter. But this game that requires like you'll get fucking blanked.
Yeah, you'll exactly the AI will try to outsmart you or they'll outshoot you.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it goes. You need to like stick and move. You shoot, move to a different area or a different cover, and then shoot again. Because they'll right when you like pull up your head, they're just gonna come up and blast you, and then you'll fall.
But like if you're behind cover, and they can get to you. Somebody will go to higher ground trying to shoot you. Like they'll tell the other person, go up. They try to like get them. So from the top, you no longer have cover. So like
this game that's one thing the game seems to really make the AIs they really lived in. Like when they go to where pretty much one of the areas that I just got through. There's a bunch of their men that are like hanged up, and while you can either like confront them or just get out of the room, they're like, "Oh, hold on, I'm gonna get them down." And I think you kind of hear one of them argue. It's like, "We don't got time. We don't really have time. Just leave them up." And it's like, "Nah, they're one of us. We gotta cut them down." Type of shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that.
They're constantly talking to each other. Or when one goes missing, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah. That's the stuff that's scary because like, or the dog throws a wrench into everything. As you're trying to sneak away, and you might be near the end, you can see the exit, and that dog is like looking for you. You see, you can sense your scent, and you're like, "Fuck, man!" Now you gotta like even move faster. So the dog definitely. Once I got to grips with the combat, like you have to keep moving and be more, like be on the run or just sneak. Don't stay still. I understood it more. And even the way they move around seems a little more realistic. Even though they do have the regular paths, like a game zoo, like, oh, this dude goes from here to here to here. It is that, but like it's a little more dynamic. It makes it feel more like these people could have a conversation here, and then they might tell them this dude might not continue walking that direction. He might switch it up now. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of cool. So like I said, like the story and everything is well written. Every new area I'm encountering, I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're legit you're seeing new area after new area after new area after new area. And it's impressive seeing that, like all the stuff they built, all the little details, all the little stories, the collectibles they built in. And how you could see the story, like the first game did that perfectly, where you could see like little stories. You could look at a room and kind of tell what happened here.
Yeah, what's going on and whatnot.
Yeah, so this game takes that even more. Again, you could see, you could say that because it has better graphics now, the PS4 or whatever. So like you could see they're able to do a lot more stuff. So I think that's really cool. I guess my major gripe with the game, my major gripe is that again, it's a sense of like, what is this game? You know what I mean? What's the point? Like, what am I doing? And now things are getting really interesting where I'm at now. But it's not to say that things were not interesting. It just felt more like the first game in a way. Like it just like I was just like, you know what I mean? Like okay, so what is the? And this game is kind of hard. I don't know for you guys, kind of hard to talk about because I think the reason the first game was so impactful, it was because we were not expecting it. We didn't know what to expect. That game came in like a freaking freight train, and that's why immediately, like in the beginning of the first game, you're grabbed, and the whole game because you didn't know what to expect. Like, okay, this is something different. This is like the road. This is some like no one is safe. Nothing is sacred. So it's different now because now you're expecting this coming into this game, right? You have expectations. Now you're like your bar is way high, so you're expecting way more because you were not expecting anything from the first game. So it might be a little unfair to expect stuff like that, but so far I'm enjoying it a whole bunch.
Can I ask you guys a question about the game?
What's up? All
right, because I'm the non-PlayStation guy of the group. And I've only played Last of Us a little bit, and it emotionally scarred me. I'm not gonna lie. Is this one as emotionally jarring as that one?
I would
even like more.
It's probably more emotionally invoking because like where the first one did a good job to tie you, this one just it does something to let's just say maybe trigger. In lack of better words.
It does. This game subverts your expectations. You think it's going to go one way so far from what I experienced, and it goes a different. But I hear it goes even it does that even more near the end. Like so far, so many people have I've read their impressions. Have said I wasn't sold on the story until the last 20%, and I'm like, how can that be? How can the ending of a game change your whole thought of an entire game? Because
Metal Gear Solid. Any Metal Gear
Pretty
Solid
much
2?
a good amount of Metal Gear Solids kind of do
Anything by
that.
Kojima.
But I think Metal Gear Solid
Yeah,
2 was
dead
a
ass.
big
Like
one,
pretty much
right?
anything that's signed by Hideo Kojima.
I mean,
so I guess
I don't
right
know
now
if that's
that's
a positive or a negative, but yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, that depends how you take it. But
Yeah. I'm gonna play
so
that
yeah,
game
those are my initial impressions right now. Who wants to go next? Lee?
I'll go next.
All right, Jordan, go you up.
My impression's pretty similar to yours in a way. Definitely. But you know, I love horror games and stuff, and this one has made me jump multiple times now.
Yeah.
Because I play with headphones on too, so I'm getting like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was one part recently that actually I played it earlier today, about like 4 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it really like that shit had me more scared than anything I played in a Resident Evil game.
Really?
Because I couldn't figure out what to do. That was the issue. It's like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
So, you're doing that running around while you're trying to figure it out. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they introduced that new enemy, those new dudes. Oh man, like they're not new for now, but like I like they keep introducing like kind of like new twists to the battlefield. Like they already explained these. Like what are they called? The stalkers. Those fucking dudes scared the shit out of me the first time. Like fuck this.
They still do.
Oh hell yeah! Even
suck.
throughout
Those
the
dudes
game,
those dudes suck. As soon as they're in, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yikes.
that's exactly what they do is they stalk you.
Yeah, because I don't know, George. Like for you, like let's say you go to encounter, right? It's like, all right, 2 clickers here, a bloater, a shambler here, this dude here. All right, let me take those guys out. And if like behind you, you hear them running behind you, like stalking you. You're like, fuck, now I gotta fucking deal with these guys. So you're trying to like, wait.
Oh, that's so sketchy.
Dude,
you telling me you can't sense them?
No, you can't.
Because they stop. They stalk you.
They're not active until you're near them.
Yeah.
But then you can't sneak around them. You can't sneak on them.
You could if you find them, but like they'll be like you're trying to crouch around and then you hear one pass you. You're like, what the fuck is that? And you might see one looking from the corner, like from a corner, looking at you like that, and then crawling back and trying to surround you from a different side. Actually, trying to just move around. You're like, oh crap. It's fuck. Especially like because sometimes you're like, oh man, because it changes the dynamic. It forces you like to really rethink in this situation. Like, oh crap, because if they attack you, they're gonna alert everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
because even if you kill them, you end up alert. If you kill them by hand, like you end up alerting everybody.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. So continue, George.
Yeah, there's multiple new enemies that, without going into detail, that was one of them. But there's 2 more.
Oh god.
Well, I think you've encountered one of the other ones. It's the 3rd one that you probably haven't encountered yet.
And at the arcade?
No.
I don't remember.
You probably because there's this shambler.
I know the one you're talking about. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because like the what they call the big guy, the bloaters, they're different in this game. They're more like bosses now. They're way more like they're not this thing. Like they're more set piece type guys now.
Yeah. Once you figure out how to take them down, though, they're pretty easy.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what do you think so far of the story? Do you find the game super long? Like, what do you feel like?
I was finding it kind of long until a certain point that switched up the whole thing.
So the game, because so far I feel like they switched things up on me. So there's more of this.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, because it's like we said, we really don't. Maybe offline we can talk about it more, but darn, this is like it's hard to go into details without mentioning certain plot points or whatever. Because the story definitely goes places as it's going now.
Yeah. It's really tough. I'm here listening to you guys speak and give your impressions. While I'm just here, honestly, just thinking, I'm like, ooh, how can I explain this without? Ooh, but I can't do that.
I'm trying to explain it now. Like I can't. Like I'm trying to think of ways around.
I mean, can we come to a conclusion and some things we can speak about? Because I think mostly everyone's past the beginning. So it makes it makes talking about what we need to talk about just a little
easier. So like I think we could mention some character names, not all, if depending on when they.
Are we talking about like the major event that happens at the beginning?
Yes, at least
talk about that. Yeah.
I think we should. I think everyone's passed it, if anything, right?
Okay,
if you have the game, you've passed that major event.
All right, okay. I'll spoil it for everyone. Pedro sits down on a fire and has marshmallows with Joel, and then they go back to a tent. It's okay. It happens every once in a while. It's all right.
Wait, what?
It's over.
Why are you talking about my my Boy Scout experience?
Jesus Christ.
I told you that in confidence, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's I'm taking the leap for you.
Oh God, you guys sharing fucking campfire stories when that time Lee went with the church outing, right? They went.
Yeah, of course. No, it didn't. But it didn't really end well for them either.
Me, gentle Father Bill. Okay.
So, all right. So we're gonna talk about the specific moment at the beginning. So if you haven't played the game at all,
leave.
Why you even listen to this? We got our impressions.
There's the door.
Wait, what?
Well, if you're going to play the game and you haven't played it.
I mean, I might play it at your house next time I come over. I might come over tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
You played like 10 minutes of the first one and you refused to play it again.
Yeah, because it hurt my heart. Like, it hurt my heart.
And I don't advise you playing the second one.
All right, so who wants to spill the beans?
Emotionally scarred.
I mean, I guess I'll be the villain and I can give my impression if George is done.
Yeah. Well, not done.
Yeah, close to done. But just go ahead, Gabriel.
Well, done as in giving his impressions. I mean,
and we all know someone has to interrupt him eventually.
It's too hard. It's too hard.
That's what she said.
Yeah, like I said, I've been thinking here quietly for the past few minutes as you guys spoke, and I'm like, okay, I think I got a good synopsis.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so the big event that happens in the beginning of the game. Again, if you guys haven't played the beginning of the game and don't know and don't want to know, now's your chance. Joel's death.
See ya. Bye.
Joel dies in the beginning of the game.
No.
Wait, what?
I didn't have time to leave the room. You spoiled
it. No, he's lying. He's lying.
That's not. No, it's not. That's not true. It's not true.
So Joel gets iced at the beginning.
Which I expected not so early though.
Yeah, I was expecting later on.
I expected it to be at least like halfway, a solid third into the game, you know, so you kind of get like the nostalgia, you feel the tension building and whatnot, where like any moment this motherfucker's gonna go, and then man, they just beat him up with a fucking golf club. Yikes!
But the thing is, I think that's the rule with Last of Us. It's just like the road. Like it's just like anybody's expendable. Like don't get attached to anybody. And I think the first game illustrated that since the very beginning. Like
they did it a lot better in the first one than they handled it in the second. Like I get it, I know what you mean. Anyone's expendable and whatnot. But even then, it's just like it. I don't know, it almost like it was just like here it happened there. I get it. That's how life happens too. Sometimes a person you love doesn't wake up the next day.
That's the point.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. People are so attached to Joel that even if they knew this was coming, people are just so upset about the way it went down.
But I'll tell you this much. I think, like, especially with the halfway point where I'm at, you guys know what I'm talking about. They justify it. if you guys know what I mean. Not justify, not the death, but like,
yo, bro,
like the rules of the world get justified. Like even
you start understanding the themes of the game even
exactly.
more.
You start understanding really what the themes are, like, and how some people just die, and like, and Joel was innocent, and Joel did same things. You know what I mean? Like
Joel himself has done some things in this world that. Hey, Ellie says it herself right in the beginning. Yeah, who knows how many enemies he could have had?
Yeah, how many people he crossed, and remember, to us, Joel felt like, oh my god, this dude just got killed like out of nowhere with no build up. Not understanding from the other point of view, the same thing could have happened with Joel and their families and their stories and their, you know what I mean, like in this world. That's how it is. We kill an NPC in this game, not knowing the whole story, but for them, you just kill some dude. That to them, they have a whole backstory with that person, like years of knowing them, and you just kill them, like in a gunfight or whatever it is, like an NPC. That's the world this is in.
Careful.
Yeah, no, like NPCs like in the game, like any NPC, like the WLF or the Scars or whatever.
He's putting like immersion to the lore. Even if it's an NPC that you ice, think about them having something. A life, them, a mom, a dad, a lover.
It's about perspectives.
Exactly. It's about the perspective, exactly, and how, depending on what side of perspective you're on, things that you feel different. And again, the more you play, the more it makes sense. You start understanding, like, okay, I see what I understand. I get it. I
got a question.
Yeah.
Did you guys go into this game blind, or did you see some of the leaks?
I didn't see none of the leaks.
I saw nothing. I only saw the first reveal trailer, pretty much. That's the only thing I saw.
I didn't see any of the leaks. I went into this game blind, and let me just tell you, just based off the trailers, like I was hoping it wouldn't happen. I was hoping Joel wouldn't die. I really thought the way they set these trailers up, that it was going to be Dina.
Oh yeah,
I thought that initially.
No, but they pulled a Kojima and they switched the trailers around.
Dude, they switched the trailers around. They did two different trailers, pretty much.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I'm still seeing
stuff. Of what they lied to people about.
Dude, I'm still seeing stuff that in the trailer. It might be like, it could be like a line that said, but it's said by a different character or a different context or like maybe.
You know that they're getting flack for that. People are trying to get them with false advertisement type of shit.
Which is stupid. It's so stupid.
That's how you mislead. Supposed to mislead. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. You don't want them to know what's going to happen. This is like with the leaks happening. People I mean after the fact, I went back and I saw what it was that was leaked, and I'm like, okay, out of context. It's completely stupid, the fact that people are saying, well, I'm not playing this game anymore, or I'm not buying it, or people even tried to boycott the game, which
you gotta
4 million copies in 3 days.
Those are the same people that probably wouldn't buy it to begin with anyways. Those are the same people that talk the talk about playing games and don't really actually play games.
Probably. There's a lot of people that do that.
I feel attacked.
I mean, perfect example. Pedro actually spoke up. Here he is talking about The Last of Us, and he's never gonna play.
But Pedro,
come on, Pedro.
Shit about it.
Stand up for better values, Jose. Don't stand up for better values, Pedro. Come on now.
Wait, I've never said it was a bad game. I enjoy. I just can't play emotional games like that. Like,
no, I got you.
I'm the dude that gets sad. I get sentimental when I watch those freaking American Got Talent cry videos, man. Like, I'm an emotional dude.
No, Pedro, it's all right. You're not being held accountable. This is not a jury of your peers. It's okay.
I thought we were. I thought you guys were my peers.
But we're not a jury.
So let's get back to so George, do you have anything else to say, George? Because I know you were talking that way.
Yeah, no, it's the game
is the game improving for you? Is the story improving for you the more you play?
Oh yeah, it's like I hate it because it's already making me. It got to a point I'm trying not to say it without giving away. Got to a point that kind of made me feel similar to the way I felt at the end of the first game, and I'm not at the end of the game yet. So I'm like, fuck you guys.
Oh, that's one thing too. Speaking of the other game, this game, like it's called Part 2 for a reason. This game does not work without the first game. This is a legit continuation in almost every aspect of the first game. You know what I mean? Like, this is legit. These two games go together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you play 2 and have the same resonance with it without playing the first one. I don't see how that could be.
That's why it's called Part 2 and not The Last of Us 2. Exactly.
So, like, I think it feels like if this was one movie, the first game ended halfway through the movie, and this is the other half of the movie. Like, it in every single way. I understand why they called it Part 2. Like, the first game is part of this as much as it is, a sequel. George, I got a quick question for you. So you did say you were finding a little long in the tooth. For me, like, I was finding it long and stuff, but I still, like, even though it's like, yo, this thing just keeps going, but I still felt like I still want to see the next thing. I always felt like that. I want to keep playing and see the next thing. Yeah.
Like, it only felt long to a certain point because it felt like the story was kind of dragging at a certain point where it's like, all right, where am I? Are we going to get to the point of this soon? And then when it does,
what's the point of this game? Yeah, it's like, what the hell's the point?
Like, you know what you're going for, but you're like, I know this isn't the point of it. I know there's going to be something else. And then when they hit you with that something else, it's like, because I predicted the basis of this is pretty predictable to begin with.
Yeah.
Of the main reason this whole game is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guessed it in the beginning, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm right.
But the thing is that it's not about guessing. Like, to me, like, the first games had a predictable story. It wasn't about that. It was very straightforward.
Oh no, it wasn't a groundbreaking story at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like at the beginning. I remember the first game when you see Sarah. I immediately thought, okay, she's gonna die because we had never seen her in the trailers. We know it's Ellie. Like, immediately I'm like, okay, she's gonna die. But is the way they even though in my mind, like, okay, this little girl's dying for sure. Like, is the way they do it and sell it. That's even though I guessed it from the beginning that she was gonna die. When she died, that was like, it just fucking hit me like a pile of bricks. You know, like, I got smacked in the face with a pile of bricks. Like it was like, man, that was rough. But George, what do you think of the combat, by the way? Are you liking it more? Are you having a good time?
I'm having a good time. I'm not too big of a fan of the shooting mechanics.
Oh yeah.
It's still kind of stiff and tight, but
yeah, it's like sometimes I'll have it lined up for like a headshot.
I feel like it's gonna burst.
It's like, what the fuck?
Well, like, that's when you gotta like know the game a little bit and know where the game kind of like auto aims, and like, because around the circle itself, there's like these little grace areas that, like, it doesn't matter where you put it, it's gonna hit them with a headshot.
I have not felt that at all, because so far, to me, it feels like you're supposed to feel imprecise. You're supposed to scramble, especially when enemies come at you. They don't come at you like other games that they keep sticking their head out. They legit duck and they move around dynamically. So, like, to line up a headshot is like really difficult.
Yeah, because when you know the Matrix, when you can read the Matrix, bro, it's okay.
I'm not saying you can't do headshots. What I mean is that the enemies.
I know. Trust me, it is. It's hard. It is tough.
They want you to panic. They want you to panic and be like, "Oh fuck, I'm trying to shoot," and you know, because like this dude from this side, the dude from this side, a dog coming at you.
And sometimes I almost think it's almost like intentional too. Like when you're sneaking around and you're about to shoot someone in the head, like a clicker in the back of the head or a run in the back of the head that hasn't noticed you, they'll move. They'll make a sudden, like, it's not like they'll see you or anything, but that's when they decide to move. It's like, wait, hold on. Are you really, is this happening right now? They're, you know how they kind of like have like a few of them have like the shivering animation, like they're like holding themselves and shit. So they'll be like hurled over, looking down, not moving. You're aiming at their face. You're about to pull the trigger, and then they move. It's like, okay. You aim it. You start to aim up again. You're about to take a squeeze, and it's like, whoa. So you're just gonna keep doing this, my guy?
Yeah.
Dude, I had one that was similar to that, but I think it was a glitch in the game because I was hiding behind a corner and there was a clicker there, He starts walking away. I start walking towards him. He turns back around, so I go hide again. We did the same motion for like 10 minutes before I just said screw it and ran up on him.
It's like, hello? Do you want to talk about this real quick? You don't have to die. I don't have to do. Can I just go that when you want to go this way?
I don't know if you guys experience this, but I do like the fact that I feel like your teammates actually do work. They actually do kill people. They actually like.
Yes, they do work, but they're still very funny. It's still very funny when it's like, here I am in the middle of the road and everyone can see me, but no alert. But it's cool, that they do put in work. It's nice that it's nice to see that I'm fighting 4 people, and they're at least taking on 1. They're gonna get that kill. No matter what, they're gonna get that kill. They might even get that second kill if you're quick enough. Because sometimes it's about where you are in relativity to the other enemies, that they'll take care of the rest.
I'll tell you this much too. There's a setting to bring up the aggressiveness of the AI, your team members. Bring it up and see what happens.
They nerf everything. Just bring it down to fucking scale.
No, you
slap everything.
Bring up their aggressiveness. You'll fucking go in and slaughter everybody for you. That was George's take. I mean, we've heard a lot of Lee's, but Lee, you want to go in and just kind of give us a more
in-depth feel? Okay, all right.
So we know you were not completely sold on the Joel part. So
yeah, no, I wasn't too big on it, but like I said, I'm not one to then instantly just start crying over the game. Like that's where I don't get like how. Like, to me, like, this. Let me bring this up. I know this is kind of like bringing this for a loop, but my girl was watching like TV on our Xbox. Weird. She's watching TV on the Xbox, literally TV. And it's like this app, and it's just showing a whole bunch of like old TV shows from like the very early 2000s. She puts on this show called Next. Does anyone remember the show Next?
Is that the one
from MTV?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there.
I can't wait to see the tie. I can't wait for you to tie Next.
I know.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, people actually watched this show and thought it was legit. People actually watched this show and thought people came here to get paid $1 every minute to find the next person that they might actually fall in love. People tuned to this show to believe that. Wow, people are weird. And here we are, 2020, and people snapping discs the very moment they see Joel die. I'm like, yo, bro, you don't at least want to tune in to the end and see why it happened? I don't get it. Like, you just spent $60 to snap your disc to post it on. Like, I don't get it. So what's real here? Your emotion towards the game, or the fact that you recorded yourself snapping the disc to then post it online? I don't get it. There's a few of them. The first one that I saw was this Asian kid. I don't know if he's Japanese. I don't know if he's whatever, but it was some Asian kid. Fucking supposedly he's streaming or he's watching it. Joel dies. He ejects the disc, snaps it. It's like I'm very confused here. I mean, I get it. Like I was pretty pissed off too. I could see why a lot of people would be pissed off, but at least try to.
I see. I definitely saw it.
Come to grips.
Fuck, you kidding me?
Get a grip.
Because you know what? Because when that happens, you realize, okay, so what the hell is this game? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so
That's what I asked. I didn't see an invisible game over that told me to rip my disc and bury it or something. Now what is this game now? What is this game? If I understood Last of Us for being Joel and Ellie's story, and I came into Last of Us 2 or Last of Us Part 2 being Joel's and Ellie's story, and now they cut them off, obviously I was wrong. What is this game? I want to figure out more. Yeah, I want to keep going so I get the answer. I'm not going to make this whole... And obviously I'm pissed. I'm very upset. you're not hearing the full fucking gist of my anger because I'm pretty sure I already let loose on Al like I usually do. You know how it is. But it's like what are you really falling for this, or like are people really falling for something? Because I mean, again, I'm very pissed about Halo. I think the very dishonor that they did to Halo 4 and 5 is way more of a spit in the mouth than seeing Joel die like this.
But speaking of Halo,
especially when it was expected.
You know what this reminds me of, kind of? I don't know if you guys remember this, or even MGS2. Remember when like the Raiden thing happened? People were up in arms. There were like fucking petitions. There was like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like very people were having a meltdown. But nowadays, MGS2 is considered one of the greats, right? Or Halo 2, back in the day, same thing. People had no idea you play as an Arbiter. People having a freaking meltdown. Like, what the hell's all the story? Nobody wants to know. Like nobody wants to play with this freaking alien. Oh my god, this game sucks. Oh yeah. Oh, you kidding me? And it was like the whole like I don't play. What's this? I don't want to know. What do you mean? There's a political stuff in the alien world. Like people didn't want nothing to do with that. And I still remember the people like it was like split the same way too. Like what? This is not Halo. Halo's about Master Chief. Not about this other side of like. People were pissed, but because people talking their first instinct. My first reaction when I saw the Arbiter getting like the trial, I was like ecstatic. That shit was exciting for me.
Yeah, I was like, it was like, I mean, again, those are the people that like to complain for no reason sometimes. Because like that whole scene was literally another testament to the Xbox. Seeing all those aliens, seeing High Charity in all of its fullness in the background, all the entire Covenant yelling at this one creature. I was wondering who the fuck was this dude and what did he do to end up there? Yeah. So let's get back on topic. So before this turns into a Halo.
Yeah. So
I'm down for that actually.
What do you? So what are your thoughts so far where you're at? As far as like writing, like the like because most of the Last of Us is not about the Last of Us is about the big story moments, like these big spikes, but but I think it's also about the journey. It's about the small conversations. It's about the interactions, the lore in the world, all these things. It's a whole package. It's not just about the big story moment. So,
it's like because I'm technically, I like to say before I even get to where I'm at, I am at the very center of it all. I am at the very epicenter of the cosmos, of this cosmos. Should I say?
God.
So
wait, are you still there?
No, he's in the cosmos. You didn't hear?
I'm in the very middle point of it all.
Right now?
Man, everything is circling around me right now.
All right, guys.
I promise. I'm.
Lee, explain what you have been doing for the last week, guys. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. You know how we're all playing The Last of Us and enjoying it and trying to move the story forward? Lee, tell them what you have been doing for 20-something hours. I'm not even kidding. It's not even exaggeration.
Because if you haven't known already, I am the evil genius, the evil madman, the one, the infamous, the all-knowing.
Gabe,
I know for a very fact.
Those are words.
those are big boy words too. I know for a very fact that if I do this where I'm at now, you guys gotten here. All of you have gotten here except for Pedro. Maybe he has been here. In fact, I'm more than certain that I might find Pedro here once I'm done.
So guys. Okay, so you know the planets. You know the part I'm talking about with the planets.
Yep.
You can spin with the planets. George, remember?
Yeah.
When you're as Ellie in the
Gabe, you remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lee, just say what you've been doing for the last week.
I am there trying to make the universe or the world align. All the worlds align into one single file.
Wait, what?
He's been spinning that thing.
There's like
almost 30 hours, and he's just still there spinning that thing.
So in theory, it's like George and Gabe have seen it. In theory, those are scaled down versions of the planet in orbit.
Okay,
And
the solar system.
Exactly, the solar system itself. And in theory, you can spin this a whole bunch of times until they finally align all together. So I thought it'd be smart. I'm like, wait, hold on. Me being me, of course, trying to like be as rational in my irrationalities. I'm like, okay, so say this planetarium, I believe it's called, stopped turning on the day that this apocalypse happened. So the day that the day that Last of Us came out in our world is the day that all happened. And I forget when that was. November
2013. It was like June 2013.
Oh, June 2013. So I went by that date, June 2013. I Google searched when's the next time all the planets are going to fucking align, and it said 400 and some years later. I'm like, hey, that's not necessarily hard to do. I can make this. I can make the world, the planet Earth, spin around the fucking sun 400 times, just so in my lifetime I can vaguely say I've seen the planets align all together. 22 hours later, by Last of Us time clock, and I'm only one planet shy of them all aligning.
Are you serious? Wait a minute. Wait. I feel like this is an accomplishment. I'm not gonna lie, it is.
If I can get it done,
but it's an accomplishment.
Don't encourage it.
If I can get it, it's absolutely.
How can I not encourage this?
Yo, bro,
I mean, he's one planet away.
Every genius was probably considered a fool at one point. Yo, imagine if I align this and it opens up a secret room. It literally opens up and it's a secret room to like a whole bunch of shit. Shit. If not, it maybe not. Maybe it's a little. Maybe it's a little.
You can't really use.
Joel says something funny. No one will know until the game comes out on PC and like they dock the game type of shit. And the very minimum, hey, I'll send this to fucking Neil and be like, yo, look at what I did. No one else did this. Can you come on our show and listen to us?
you need to document this. Like, this is something you need to document.
Yeah, you know.
I'm not going to document it, but I'm going.
You have to. No, you have to, because this is the type of stuff that people talk about. Like, gamer freaking, like it's kind of like in the same level of the guy who turned on his Xbox to play Forza and found his dad's ghost on Forza.
No.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same level of.
What the fuck?
It is. I am actually. Listen, I probably won't play this game, but just because of the fact that this man did that takes dedication. You're actually sitting in a game. There's no way to hack that. You're just sitting at pressing X, I guess. I assume. I don't know what it involves, but you're doing something in a game that takes time. Anything that takes more than an hour to do.
So unfortunately, I can't slap a fucking a tape on the button. It's triangle to like spin it. So you can only spin it so much, and then she lets go. Ellie lets go, and then you have to grab it again and spin it. So my longest stretch, I believe, was about like 9.5 hours of just literally making at least fucking after this flashback, if time is really relative, she's gonna have the meanest left hook of her fucking life. There's gonna be a reason why she's really into chicks and not dudes, but it's because dudes don't want her anyway.
Okay. Your precious.
I just want to say one thing. All right. So listen. All right. Whatever. You kind of lost me there with the last part, but you are accomplishing something. It might be one of those useless things, but you need to record this, because you're legit spending hours of your life spinning a virtual item, like you know what I mean? It's like not a real thing, but you're devoting time to this, and it seems like it's a pain in the ass to do. So you have to document this, and we have to report on what happens. I need to see a video of the time that when you get there, and that needs to be like shared with all of us in the world.
Yeah, pay me.
So you know how we're reviewing The Last of Us? I mean, we're giving our impressions. Real quick, George, your impressions of what you just heard.
I mean,
admittedly,
honestly,
I did spend about 10 minutes doing that too.
I mean, honestly,
is
it something that you see me not doing?
40 hours are two different things.
Yeah.
40,
but the fact that you spent
a work week.
What is it? You spent 22 hours, you said?
I mean, on the clock itself, it's accumulated. Like, you know, when the last checkpoint you've done. So from the last checkpoint I've done has been 22 hours. So I've gone on. I've spun it for a few hours. I've stopped, started doing my own little thing, gone back on, kept trying to spin it, and then pretty much going by, I'm like, okay, like legit, so far, the only planet that's been giving me shit, right now, is Saturn. That's the last planet that needs to line up with the rest of them, and I have the perfect fucking planetary alignment. And then that's it.
Okay, there's too much time, but like real quick before we move on from this wretched topic.
Just to put that in perspective real quick.
Yeah.
I'm at 26 hours in the game, and I'm like very close to the end of it. That's 22 hours in one fucking section.
That's
Gabe, quick impressions.
Looking for, bro. I mean, oh yeah, go ahead.
Quick impressions.
I mean, my bad.
No, it's okay. Excuse me. Quick impressions. Oh man, the game's incredible. Graphics.
No. I want to hear your quick impressions of what he just did, and then go on to your impressions of the game.
Say that again.
I want to hear what you think of what this dude is doing, and then go on to your impressions of the game.
He's a fucking madman, but dude, if you're this close, man, just go for it, bro.
Like I'm more like
approval.
Like I'm gonna beat the game. That's a no-brainer. I'm probably gonna get very close to 100% in the game. But if there's even the slightest chance, I mean, like, look, one of the hardest games that I've ever said to 100% is Shadow of Colossus, and that's because, like, yeah, especially like the new ones. But imagine back in PlayStation 2 days when people thought 100%ing the game was trying to find that one door, that one room, the top of the fucking castle where the dude that the voice comes down at you, the final boss that never existed. Like, there are things that literally have dissected the shit out of Shadow of Colossus. They're not gonna find.
What's that?
Jose?
Yo.
What the hell?
What
the hell was that?
No, I turned my car on and it switched automatically the Bluetooth to the car.
Yikes.
I thought he got sucked into the Matrix.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
We need to move on. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say. Gabe,
he's mad.
Game's incredible.
Hold on, I want to hear Gabe, because Gabe actually finished the game, so like his thoughts, like a little more more
weight.
More weight.
So I mean, I'm not gonna say much now, but game's incredible. The music, the attention to detail, the acting, the anime, dude, everything in the game is just. It was far better than what I thought it was going to be, to tell you the truth. I didn't think they'd be able to keep up with that level of quality all the way through, and I feel like it gets even better at the end, towards the end. Mm-hmm. If I have a gripe for it, and this is subjective, some parts I feel like may take a little bit too long, but then again, at the same time, the gameplay is so much fun that I can overlook it.
It kind of overlooks. And if I can say one thing on that, because a lot of like that's like, notice how that's starting to come up, especially after like that ex-CEO from Sony said that AAA games should try to start doing 15-hour games instead of like 30-hour games. My thing is, it's like there should be a balance. To me, sometimes like I feel like a 15-hour game to some of these AAA studios is a cop out, because then they never, even when they do a 15-hour game, it's not even a 15-hour game that gives you a pop, a bang, a boom every single roll, every single time in its nature. Because again, maybe the game isn't that's not exciting, but there's very few, if not, especially in this generation, that's a AAA 15-hour game that packs a punch. One of my biggest or one of the ones that come up a lot of my mouth that I dislike, because so many people praise it too much because it's like a short game, but not enough detail and not enough oomph, is that Star Wars Fallen Order. It's like, that's a short game. That's a perfect example of like how a AAA game will handle a 15-hour game. They'll just give you this like small morsel, and then it barely lacks a soul. It's like, oh, okay, so then you just give us a pretty boy and some nice like voice acting, and then that's the game. Like, I don't know.
What do you think, Gabe?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Seriously.
Because I agree with you, man. It's at the end of the day, in my opinion, let the developers create what they want to create. If this is a story they wanted to tell, who are you to invoke your feelings of how you think it should have gone?
Yeah, but because the thing is that, especially Last of Us, like I praise it for, even though it's like, right, so you know how usually the way I see it, how usually even Last of Us 1, it'll be like, oh, we're going in that direction, and then it cuts, and then they're there, right? This game will be like, oh no, you're walking all the way over there, and you're gonna see all the way over there. You know what I mean? So like, in that way, because even though it's like some of the parts feel long, right? Like I felt like they were long. There was still enough stuff in there, right, that were like interesting and stuff. It was just the problem is, it was like, maybe it has to do with expectations, like no big pops, like nothing like fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, because they want to let the world breathe, and you really get immersed in this world and like really experience like what is really going on and like what has come of the world, right? So that's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, even though like I said earlier, and so did George, like even though I felt like it was long, and Gabe, I think you're the same way, I always wanted it's like a page turner. You still want to see the next part, right? Like, oh my god, like I know I just fucking spent this much long doing this thing, but I want to see I want to see what happens next. I want to see what happens next. I want to see what the next thing is, right?
It's a testament to how immersed, how engrossed people are into the story.
Yeah,
but sometimes it's like I don't know. Sometimes it's like it's a little bit, because you gotta again, it's a little, it's like you were saying earlier, and how it kind of everything is kind of like relative and shit like that. But sometimes I feel like it's ingenuine for a lot of the people right now. A lot of it is just smoke. It's just people, again, people stuck in their house. They want something to talk about. They want the clicks, especially now more than ever. It's all about the attention that you can bring your way and shit like that. Because honestly, I guarantee, I think more than like 80% of the people that talk shit, that actually played the game, that actually sat down and played the game and beat it, probably liked it more than they disliked it. Because I'd outweigh the fact that because I don't like the way they killed off Joel, right? I don't like it at all. I felt it was too early. Like I said earlier, I kind of felt like they're kind of using it to shoe in Abby and whatnot.
Same.
But that doesn't take away from it being a good game. I guarantee a lot of these people had a great time playing the game, but then just want to hide behind the fact that this is making so much smoke in the internet. Oh, Last of Us is a terrible game. It's a 4 out of 5. Oh, look at the Metacritic. Oh, this and that. Yeah, like guarantee there's motherfuckers that are giving it a 10 out of 10 that shouldn't be giving it a 10 out of 10. Just as much as motherfuckers are giving it a fucking low ball ass score when it probably doesn't deserve it. What I'm playing so far, what I've played so far, and I haven't even beat it, it's looking like an A at the least. I mean, an 8 at the least. It's looking like an 8 out of 10 at the least, and I haven't even beat the game.
Yeah, but to talk about scores and stuff, I think games like this proves that scoring is almost like irrelevant. Because,
irrelevant.
Because what Last of Us, I'll bring a few games to this. So like Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2, Red Dead Redemption, even God of War. What they prove is, and I think Last of Us might have done it the best of all these games, is that it shows you how a story in a game is done correctly. It uses the fact that it's in a game, that it's a game and the story being told to its advantage. You know what I mean? Like, this story can literally not be told any other way. Right? Like, the experience of the game is.
I was actually going to say that.
You know what I mean? They did what they were meant to do. Like, there's no other way to tell a story, right? There's the game. The fact that it's a game is the reason why. Like, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the same thing. That game is slow.
I honestly can't wait. I honestly can't wait till you guys beat the game. I can't wait till you guys beat the game when we can talk about it, because you're 100% right. This game is truly just a work of art, and we've never had a game like this. That goes as far as this game goes, just ever. This is truly like Naughty Dog really took a chance with the story they wanted to tell, and this is the outcome of it. It's just mixed, left and right.
All great art is divisive, right? All great art is. You're supposed to make you think, right? Like, even if you dislike the game, let's say you dislike the game, if you're able to explain, like, yo, we can have a conversation about it. It's not about me fighting you because I liked it, you did it, or because you liked it and I didn't. It's not about fighting each other about that. It's about,
fuck you! You liked it? Hell no.
it's about coming to, like, having discussions. Cause I think this game draws up, like the first game did. Like, the first game brought out of discussions, right? So, like, what the hell's really, like at the end, like, what do you think? Like, oh, Joe's the bad guy. I don't know. I would have done the same thing. Like, I don't know about you, Gabriel, but after having a kid, it really, that part of the end of the first game, like, it justifies it. All of a sudden, as soon as you have a kid, you're like, okay, I understand immediately. And, like, you know what I mean? You would trade. You wouldn't trade your kid for anything. That's the way I feel.
No, it's true. And believe it or not, do you guys know a game theorist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually put up a video about just a quick topic. It's quick. He actually put up a video speaking about how Joel actually made the right choice in doing what he did, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Well,
because the thing is, it's all like this. It really proves that it really is about perspective. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The world, that's how the world works. Mm-hmm. Like, just because, like, you and I are in a fight, right? But you're the good guy in your story, and I'm the good guy in my story. We both think they're right. We're fighting, like, you know, when the U.S. was out there fighting the Middle Easterns and all this stuff, like fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. The other guys thought they were doing the right thing. They were fighting for, you know, for their beliefs.
Sorry, go.
No, and I just felt like it's kind of like that. Like, it's all about perspective. Like, for you, it might have been like, yo, why would you do that? You're trading humanities, like all millions and billions of people for one person. Like, but for me personally, until you have the pain, like what it is having a kid, like, it doesn't matter. You would trade, like, there's no other option. There literally is no other option. You understand why Joel did everything he did. You know what I mean?
Let me give you another perspective real quick. And this is the perspective that he gave. And it'd be stupid what they were going to do to Ellie, considering, I mean, we could talk about it, right? Actually,
like, my thing was at the end, like, my shoes or Joel's shoes, if I were in them, probably a lot of us probably wouldn't have let that happen. It all depends. Or by the how the story goes, if we were Joel, we wouldn't have let that happen, right? But the way that I defend it is, like, not only give this girl a chance to live her fucking life. Yeah, it's a fucked up life, but let her live it. Let her live for another 10, 20 years and then go back and see. And if she dies, analyze it then, or something like. Were these guys really doctors, or were these guys that were forced to be doctors after all this shit happened? Do they really have a giant knowledge of how the fucking neural system works in the back of this little girl's head? That's the way that I was seeing it. I wouldn't have let that happen, because it's like, yo, here we are in a dingy ass hospital, clickers outside, and it's like the fireflies were pretty much already crumbling to pieces. They were almost done. This was more their last dish effort to not necessarily to provide a cure, but to remain in control and shit like that, to remain a force, pretty much.
But it wasn't a cure. So
exactly,
this is a perspective that, again, it was a vaccine. So they were going to kill Ellie in order to get a vaccine, and that's preventative. So which is stupid. Because if you're killing her just for a vaccine, you're literally taking away the most important thing, the antibodies that are in her body that are making it that she's immune to the virus.
The whole thing is that it's not 100%. You know, it's not 100%. Yeah. But from their point of view, think about it. Their point of view is like, we have a chance at least to not doom humanity. And what Joel did by himself is just make the choice. Like, no, I'm dooming humanity. Like not even think about like the humanity, to give humanity a choice, like, you know, like a say in all this. And again, like I understand, like, because you can make arguments for both sides, right? Like, but I always feel like it was never 100%, right? It was never like guaranteed. It was more
no, absolutely.
Right? Like, they didn't know if they could have killed her and nothing happened, right? And that's
exactly. They could have and then that's it. No cure, no nothing.
Yeah. So.
Or they make a vaccine and it doesn't work at all. It only really the antibodies really only help Ellie type of shit. Who knows? But it again, it's like you're saying, it's all, again, it's subjective. It's what you want to see, what you believe, your perspective, your experiences.
Exactly. And the fact that Joel had went through the experiences he went through, he legit felt the worst pain that anybody could ever feel. What he went through, I cannot even picture a pain worse than that. He literally went through the worst. He was acting like a human would. You don't want to feel that again. You don't want to lose somebody again. If it was somebody else that never had the attachment with Ellie, you're like, whatever, right? Like, do what you got to do.
Yeah, do what you got to do. Make sure that there's enough vaccines for me so I can make a shit ton of money.
At the end of the day, as much as he didn't want to, Ellie, he ended up getting a second chance at being the father he never got to be.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It's a selfish thing, but you know what it is? That's a human thing. That's exactly a human reaction. Like, you know what I mean? You would do anything. If it's like, oh, you're going to nuke the whole world, but you have to keep your son. Like, yeah, I guess that's what it has to be. Like, you know, because it's a selfish thing to, like, you don't want to feel that pain. That's like the opposite of what you want to feel, right? So, yeah, so, Gabe, so I just want to ask you one question before we wrap this thing up. So I keep hearing the same thing, that the last 10% of the game or the last hour of the game, I don't know how long that means, but like the last part of the game kind of justified the whole thing. Or maybe, I'm not saying like it or dislike it, but like make everything make sense. So like kind of like wraps everything up. Like, is this a game that you really need to play the whole thing to just get the whole thing together?
Definitely. You definitely have to play the entire game so you can come up with your own precise opinion on the game. The ending is probably the most divisive thing. Aside from the, what happens in the beginning, the ending, everything, there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate. In my opinion, I'm still kind of just thinking about everything. But in my opinion, I understand exactly what they wanted to do, and I'm honestly just taken back.
Yeah. You said you were conflicted. Do you think they stuck the landing? or are you not sure if they did?
And that's what I mean. I understand what it was that they were trying to do, but at the same time, I do understand the frustrations of some of the other people. It's it's the ending of the last game where you don't know if the right choice is made or not, and you don't know how to feel about it. They essentially, I mean, you're getting that whole experience throughout the game if you haven't already kind of noticed.
Yeah. No, I've been getting a lot of those feelings so far, and I'm still like that shift, that shift that happens kind of pretty much.
Exactly.
So you're telling me there's more of this? I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. This game is not supposed to make you feel comfortable. Like I said it. I said it in the beginning of the game. I'm like, this is not going to be a feel good game. This game is going to hurt.
The first one wasn't. The first game, I was like at the beginning, I'm like, I don't feel good. Like it was that whole experience legit, like rounded up together. I felt conflicted at the first game.
Because my thing is like I'm really good at guessing fucking like stories and plots like this. I'm already on the fence on it. Like I pretty much nailed it the first time round when I guessed it to you, Jose. I don't know if it was during the show, but when I guessed it, but because like I get it, because it's like you said, it's like we've been saying from the very beginning with Last of Us 1. It's not like a revolutionary story. It's not a story that we haven't seen once. Dad loses kid, finds another kid to kind of like fill the hole. Doesn't want to let it go, et cetera. Like we've seen it all before, but that's where like they to me they better do better do something to really justify everything, and because like I don't know, because I don't like the way they killed off Joe. I'm one of the ones that really just like
Have you seen The Road?
I have seen The Road, yeah.
So the entire movie is just miserable. Like even at the end, you're like, okay, what?
Pretty much, exactly.
I think this game, Last of Us, is really inspired by that, and I think they continue that thing of like the end of Last of Us 1 left you there, like the holding the bag, like wait, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not meant to feel good. Mm-hmm. It's meant to. This world is brutal. There's no. Whether you agree with it or not, this is the world. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how like I see it. Like I love The Road, but I never want to see that movie ever again.
Yeah,
you know
me too. I mean?
Like,
honestly, like I saw it. Like I saw it pretty much just after one of the times you told me to see it when we were working at Blockbuster, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, this is a good movie, but.
That's
shit.
It. I'm done with this.
Exactly. Because, like, I wanted to go back to, like, really kind of, like, eat it up and shit like that. Because I kind of felt like for a while they were being followed and shit like that, which I think they were. And they were being followed by that, I don't know. Family? I don't want to really, I don't want to go in. I don't want to, again, it's giving me, like, weird, like, feels and whatnot. Yeah. But anyways, because, like, fuck. Anyways, yeah. Like, fuck. Just continue, bro. Why'd you do this? Why'd you bring it?
Yeah. But I guess we could just wrap this up now. It was a great discussion. I mean, we need to get the stuff off my chest because this game. I mean, I guess I still got more. According to Gabe, I guess I gotta call Gabe as soon as I finish this thing.
Yes, you do.
Gabe, to level 2, like we're gonna have to have a discussion the same way we did FF7.
Yeah, if you can't tell by the amount of videos that are online talking about this game, we're gonna definitely talk about this game for sure.
Okay, cool.
And honestly, and I love it. This is the type of stuff that I love when a game can just invoke so many emotions in people. Yeah. Honestly, that's why I'm here. That's why I play games. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Any last thoughts, boys?
Last of Us 2 is a great game. I had fun.
Thanks, Pedro. George, what do you think? Any last thoughts?
I can't wait to finish it. I've literally put in like 8 hours today. It's like a freaking job.
Oh, God. Jesus.
I have to take moments of breaks. So.
How many more hours, Lee, until you get to the
let's see. I'll probably try to make the world go around a few more times.
How about this, Lee? I got a perfect thing. Make a manual save and keep it there and just
I don't think I can. I don't think I. Oh yeah,
that's you can make one there and just.
Yeah, I could make one fucking manual save, bro. How sick am I, bro?
No,
like that's like no. That's like literally no trial, no room for errors, no. Oh shit, I might have forgotten something. Let me go back real quick, all the way to the planetarium.
No, but the thing is too is that this game checkpoints like crazy. So it's like there's constant. Every time I press a start button, it just says that checkpoint a minute ago. So it's like it's checkpoints like crazy. But yeah, I guess this is it, guys. I guess we're gonna wrap it up. George, you wanna sign us out?
Peace out.
Yeah, follow us. Never Ready Podcast remastered.
When was the last time we actually said that?
Yeah,
I'm relevant.
Follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, Never Ready channel. We're everything, right? So like we're in Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Should be Spotify, Apple.
Yeah, all
Stitcher.
that stuff. Yeah, Stitcher. You can find us on there. On YouTube as well.
Play too. I have to check that.
Okay. So yeah. We'll definitely come on next week, and if all three of us manage to finish it by next week, then we'll do a spoiler cast. I definitely want to go in deeper and touch upon more of the themes of the game. But yeah, thanks, Gabe, for joining us. Lee,
thank you for having me.
Bye.
So see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye. Love you guys. You guys are my heroes.